Hello everyone, I am Huang Qing. I come from China. I'm studying in Wuhan University. I'm glad to have the opportunity to share my work with you. The subject of my presentation is about code search. The query expansion is an important technology in the code search. In recent 3 years, many people devote themselves to this area. They expand the query with the user feedbacks, ontology, Q&A forum, or API documents. Different from them, we expand the query with the intent. In our work, we handle a question, that is, the precision of the code search is not high. Many retrieved code still has to be modified. The previous tools cannot predict the intent. That is, they can't guess what else a user might do after getting the code results. So we propose IECS, that is an intent-enhanced code search approach. Okay, at this moment, you will ask me, what is the intent? I'll give you an example. Given a query, access data in Excel. We can find a method, Excel to dataset. The code is here. This code is divided into 4 parts. The first is the connection string. The second, connection. The third, command. The fourth, performing command. We find this method is only for Excel 2003, but fails for Excel 2007. So, after getting this method, many users intend to modify this method. Someone will change OLEDB4 to OLEDB12. He also changed Excel 8 to Excel 12. This is the intent. The intent is Microsoft ACE OLEDB 12, Excel 12. Okay. When a user types a query again, the original query is access data in Excel. If the search engine could predict this intent, it expands the query with the intent. So, the perfect code result could be returned. The result is Excel to dataset 2007. Through this example, you can see the intent is very helpful. So, the intent is our main contribution. In details, this contribution is divided into 3 parts. The first, we propose IECS, which contains an intent extraction algorithm to exploit the potential intents of the method. The second, we use the intent to enhance the search. We perform code retrieval within the intent scope based on the semantic matrix and the structure matrix. Furtherly, we expand the original query with the intent. Third, we implement a code search tool. We call it SnippetGen. to perform IECS. It outperforms CodeHow and Google Search by 28.5%. To help you better understand the principle, we give you an example throughout this presentation. Get back to the code. Okay. After getting this method, someone intends to make a modification. He will change OLEDB4 to OLEDB12. He also change Excel 8 to Excel 12. Another one intends to make the similar modification, OLEDB12, Excel 12. From their modification, we can get the intent. The intent is Microsoft ACE OLEDB 12, Excel 12. After getting the intent, we can further extract the intent relevant context. What's the context? We can see the connection depends on the connection string. We can see the command depends on the connection. So there are two dependent contexts. They are OLEDB connector open, OLEDB data adapter field. This is the context. Okay, intent context. After getting the intent and the context, we will enrich the method with them. So we first construct a code base using Luz. The version of Luz is 4.3. This code base has four fields. The first field refers to the intent. This is the intent. The second field is the intent relevant context. This is the context. The third field is FQN, Excel 2007 dataset is a new method name. The fourth field refers to the method body. This is the changed source code. Okay, we complete our code base. When we type the query, access data in Excel, the search engineer will perform code trip within the intent scope. In details, the search engine will match the query and the intent, which is the first field, and return some score. This process is semantic matching. The score is semantic score. In our example, the search engine matches the query with the intent. Okay. In addition, the search engine will match the query and the intent relevant context, which is the second field, and return some score. This process is structure matching. The score is structure score. In our example, the search engine will match query with the context. Okay? After performing these two metrics, we can get 4 methods. They have both semantic score and structural score. You can see the first method, the score is 1.1. The second method, the score is 0.9. And the third method, and the fourth method. So we choose the first method as the best code result because its score is the highest. However, if this method cannot meet the user demand, the search engine will make further code search. It will expand the query with the intent. Okay, next. The original query terms access, that, Excel. The intent Microsoft ACE or ADB 12 Excel 12 is easier to make expansion and generate the expansion query by using the EBM. The code is here. EBM code. Okay. This is the expansion query. Using the expansion query, we can get the perfect code result. Okay, this is the whole process to illustrate how do we use the intent to enhance the code search. This is my presentation. Thank you for your attention.